I'm not looking at leadership to take care of me anymore.
No, but it'd be nice if they weren't making it harder.
All right, now up to me and you, brother.
Sure, we should start the show.
I care about you.
Well, I know you care about me.
I like this discussion to be in the show.
What's going on, guys? How's everybody doing today? Max Bergstrom here, sitting in the studio, and I've got my good friend, Mr. Jim LaMattery, with me. You're wearing a interesting chapeau today, Jim.
Oh, yes.
Why don't you tell me about that a little bit?
Okay, so this is my alligator hunter hat.
Your alligator hunter hat.
So, I still have full hair.
You have got like a 19-year-old's hairline.
Well, thank you.
It looks excellent.
The deal is, I hate hiding it.
Yeah.
I've got a new quest.
A new quest,
I'm
okay.
on an adventure.
Right. Now, when you were initially talking about the Alligator Tour, I was, like I told you a few minutes ago, I was picturing is that like a metal band? Like, welcome to the Alligator Tour. I can just see like the name of the band would be like Hammer Smashed Face or something like that. And there, it's like the graphic is an alligator eating a bunch of people or something. But I was way off. So what is it? Where is it? And give me the rundown on this thing.
So the Alligator Tour is going to start on March the 29th.
Okay.
So it's quick. And we're going to hold it from 12 to 2 p.m. in the afternoon. 12
to 2 on the 29th.
That's the beginning leg of the tour. So I imagine the tour is going to take me, it might take me a whole full year. No, it's not a musical tour.
Though you look like a musician right now, this vibe right here. Well, you are a musician.
I am
But this vibe musician right here, like you could literally go out here and be like, hey, I got to get down to Point Long. I'm stepping on stage. You know what I mean? So I like it.
I'm going to incorporate my music into the tour. I actually, in the first leg of the tour is going to be 4601 Almayo. Yeah, Almayo Avenue.
All right.
Look, everyone can get the details of the tour by going to jimlamattery.com. But anyway, to why the Alligator Tour, and I also envision doing some merch with, an alligator logo that I'm working on right now.
For sure.
Okay. This tour is one in which, first of all, it's necessary to explain what an alligator is. So I've been in the real estate market here for, 43 years. Ouch. And I'm a native San Diegan. And an alligator is an LLC or a privately held entity that comes into our neighborhoods, and particularly our older single-family neighborhoods, where first-time buyers would be buying
like
homes,
where I live,
like you, Max.
Yeah, in Clairemont.
And Clairemont, and they come in under the current ADU rules in San Diego. They can come in and build, for example, 17 units on one single family lot.
So do they go just talk to the homeowner and they're like, hey, we're a big development company and we want to put 17 lots and pay you for how the hell does that work?
No. Alligators are very smart predators. So what they do is they slither into the neighborhood and they purchase the single family lot that you should be buying.
Got it. So they buy the lot.
They buy the lot, but they don't inform the neighbors.
So they're not helping anybody besides themselves, really.
It's all profiteering. Yeah. Right? Yeah. It's another California gold rush. So they come into the neighborhood. They don't inform any of the other neighbors that they're buying that single family lot to build 17 units. So they're trying to get the maximum use out of that single family lot under the ADU rules. But an ADU is a granny flat.
Right.
First leg of the tour has 17 units built on it.
Yeah.
Tell me, who has 17 grandmas?
It's not MADU, multiple additional dwelling units, right?
Right.
And 17 on one individual lot. That seems insane.
So the San Diego Union ran an article on it, and I saw the picture in the paper, and I couldn't even imagine it. And something inside of me drove me to go see it. And I got to tell you, Max, it was an emotional hit to me when I saw it, because of the destruction of the neighborhood. So I spoke with the next door neighbor, and this woman, Anita, and people will meet her if they come out to 4601 in Almayo. She's now trying to mitigate the damage. So, for example, it's a cul-de-sac lot.
Gotcha.
Right? And the subject alligator is this pie shape. So these alligators are coming in looking for specific lots.
Yeah.
And under the current rules, the ADU rules in San Diego, they're allowed to build up to the maximum.
Sure.
Right? So they do that.
Yeah.
And they disregard, and then there's no parking provided for these 17 units. Now imagine the 17 units aren't going to be occupied by one person.
Yeah.
They're going to be occupied by 2 or 3 roommates, because that's the only way that you can survive as a tenant in San Diego.
No kidding.
Imagine what you just did to that neighborhood.
Yeah, so, you got 34 extra people living on one lot.
Look at, this is what I love about the mama bears, the women in our community. When the crap happens to their neighborhood, they're not sitting back crying. It's an initial shock.
Yeah.
And, reverberates right through your body. She is putting into action an HOA for the parking on the cul-de-sac. So she's getting all her neighbors together and working on a sensible plan for just to park their cars, so there won't be any parking wars at night.
Yeah, that's smart.
People work all day to pay their mortgages. So really what it gets down to is what I'm trying to do. And look, this isn't a NIMBY event,
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to ask you, because I mean, when you talk about the mama bears, like, and the alligator tour, everybody coming together to do a, not in my backyard, like the classic NIMBY event is kind of, what somebody could ascertain this would be. But
and what is it? It's not a YIMBY event either. Yeah. So look, there's 2 sides to the debate going on, right? So the not in my backyard, and then the yes in my backyard. Okay.
Right.
What I want to focus on is the LIMBY event. So I'm hosting LIMBY, and that's an acronym for Look in My Backyard. What I really want is the general public to come out on both sides of the fence. It's extremely important that the YIMBY faction,
people that want it, people that don't,
and people that don't.
And I understand you're inviting the mayor, city council, like those people as well to come check all this.
They're looking for solutions to our housing problem, right? Yeah. And when you sit in council meetings and you have to determine policy, the way forward, that's one thing. But to come out and look at the result of the policy is an extremely important point, or an important part of accountability. So, I've come up with this policy. Now, how is it working? So the reason that I'm personally inviting them is so that they can walk the project site just like me.
For sure.
Because when you walk these sites, the thing that really breaks your heart is these are on canyons. Because these cul-de-sac lots, particularly in Clairemont and Bay Park and La Jolla.
Oh, La Jolla too, huh?
Oh,
they're doing it there.
It's happening
everywhere.
All throughout the city, because this is a citywide plan. And we will be taking the tour to La Jolla. We'll be taking the tour to South Bay. Our South Bay communities really got taken advantage of by developers coming in and just doing the max on the lot. And look, this isn't a slight against developers. I'm a real estate broker. I need developers to come in and build.
Yeah, we all understand business and how that works. If it's all for raw profit and it's not helping the community, like, everybody has to benefit from this kind of stuff, right? There has to be a give and take.
Yeah.
And it seems to me like right now, especially in this city, prices are extremely high.
Yeah.
People can't afford stuff.
That's right.
And instead of balancing that in a healthy or logical way, which is what you would suggest, that's helping actual people, first-time home buyers, redistributing things to the people who want to live in the city and add to the city. It's big-time developers coming in and building, these alligators, causing problems for the neighborhood. And it seems to me like if this happens all over the city, I mean, how it's going to be insane. Like, parking already sucks. You already can't find any place to park.
Yeah.
There's already so much traffic.
Yeah.
It's like having a little apartment complex on every single personal home lot.
These are apartment building bills is what they are.
Yeah.
But let me back up a little bit. Listen, alligators are fine if they're left in their natural habitat. Mm-hmm. But when they start crawling through the neighborhood and eating up our housing stuff.
Yeah.
So the point I'm making is the entities that want to build multifamily should be building it on raw land. And they should not be taking advantage of our older neighborhoods.
Yeah,
where
that makes sense.
That is traditionally the entry point for you. I need to get you into a house by the end of the year.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I made that promise to you. I've got to do it. Part of doing that is exposing the alligators, backing them off. Now, we're in a critical time period because the city council decided on March 4th this month to back up and to reevaluate some of the rules that they put into place. One of the rules that they really need to reevaluate is the owner occupancy rule. When the state of California, for example, started this all off with the Home Act, SB 9, there was a provision in there that if you split your lot or built units on your single family lot, because what the state was doing was a gross act of eminent domain. They were taking away the property rights of every single family homeowner in the state of California because they were taking away your right to be a single family home in a single family neighborhood.
Yeah.
We gave you more rights. We gave you rights to lot split. Okay. So when they did that, there was a caveat, and that was if you're going to split your lot and build units, you have to be an owner occupant to do that.
Yeah. Right.
And there was a 3-year call on that. San Diego policymakers
you don't have to be an owner occupant.
Exactly.
You can just buy the house, buy the lot.
And
you don't have to live there, and then they can just build on it.
Exactly. Yeah. And that is the door that the city council opened, whether it was intentional or not intentional. The fact is they opened the door to allow entities that were not going to live in the property come in and build. Mm-hmm. Here's the deal. If you own a single family lot and you want to put granny flats or units in on your property and you're going to live there with their tenant, you're going to have a different attitude about how you build, whether you're going to provide parking.
Oh, yeah.
The design standards, everything else. When you're an LLC and you're not going to live there, which is the case of the alligators that we're going to go and visit, you don't care.
Of course not, because arranging any of that would eat into more of my profits. It's more work.
Exactly.
It's more profits. It's like, how am I going to manage? I don't want to have to manage all these people.
Listen, I don't mind if alligators are profitable. I get it. I've been in real estate for 43 years. You have to make a profit. Yeah. Make your profit where it's appropriate.
Yeah. Right.
Don't destroy our neighborhoods.
Sure.
We have one lady, and people will meet her on the second leg of the tour. It's another property in Bayho. She is so emotionally devastated by having this project built next door to her. And she doesn't know where she's going to go. She doesn't know what the hell she's going to do because living there is going to be unbearable.
Yeah.
She knows this.
Yeah.
As single family homeowners, these people wanted their little slice of heaven. They wanted to upgrade their backyards and enjoy their backyard. Now they're looking up at 17 units staring down.
Yeah. That's wild.
So that's a problem. And look, these aren't people who don't want to help with the housing crisis. They understand what's going on. We need more units, but we need to be building them properly. And another word, look, there are a lot of homeowners who've done really fantastic jobs at building extra units in their backyards. Yeah. And you know what's funny about this? They mostly build them and put their own family in them. Yeah. Because their sons and their daughters don't have any place to purchase it. And
or the other way around, like my mom lives in Minnesota. My daughter she is literally my daughter's favorite person. I would love to be able to have a home with an ADU or a granny flat and say, yes, mom, when you're getting older, you can come out here and live. We'll take care of you. You'll have your own space. And then you get to see Lennon every day.
Yeah.
spend all the time you want with her.
And this was the original intent of the ADU law that was established in 2017.
Right.
What's happened was the door was left open on the owner occupancy issue. The LLCs and entities that need to build, we need to put carpenters to work. We need to build housing in California.
Yeah.
So we've got to tweak it. And really what I want, who cares what I think? I care what the people of San Diego think. And I'm on the mad dash with this tour to help people come out and not just read about this in the newspaper, because it doesn't affect you personally.
Yeah, right.
I want people to be on the ground, to come down and look at these units that are being built and ask themselves, would they actually want to live in one of these units? From the fire safety to parking, those are just even the smallest of the real issues. There's another issue going on here, and that is that when you take rights away from homeowners for the common good, for the larger community, then I think the larger community should come out and take a look at what the people who've sacrificed for the greater good are enduring. And then let's sit down, let's work it out. Let's sit down at the table.
Yeah, Jim, I definitely agree with you. The community, the larger community, I like the look in my backyard analogy there. I understand talking about looking at things that you're going to fill up a whole bunch of helium balloons or something.
Oh, no. Okay,
so what is this?
All right. So at the site on the tour date, the 29th, we're going to fill up a 10-foot diameter helium balloon. This is the balloon that we used in 2014.
One large balloon.
It's one large balloon.
Got it.
And it's and
does it have like a big middle finger on it, or like what?
No,
what is
no.
it?
It has no 60 feet still on it. This is the original balloon that we used. 450 of my neighbors marched with us down Marina Boulevard in 2014.
Right. You told me about this.
Raised at exactly 60 feet. So the balloon is what in real estate is a analogous to a story pole.
Okay.
So a story pole is what judges put on projects to show the height. So it's a representation of the height before a building is
right.
built. Okay. So that's what the balloon is.
Is that the height cap? 60 feet for a home in San Diego or something?
In Bay Park and in Clairemont area, it used to be 30 feet. But now with the new ADU rules, you can bust the height limit. And in fact, there's one property.
I was going to say, I know in Bankers Hill, there's definitely homes over 30 feet.
Right. But see, we had a 30-foot height limit along the coast.
Right.
Otherwise, if we had not had that height limit back, that was 1969, the Kellogg family helped greatly with that. They helped us during 2014 because of the Hunt brothers coming into La Jolla and building, a 200-foot project. Not only preserved views. It's not our 30-foot height limit is not just in solely for the preservation of views. It's also to kept that coastline from becoming a Miami Beach, where it cut off access to everybody. Huge towers and no access. So imagine San Diego, and we have no access to our beaches or limited access. Not good.
Well, with the parking situation, we already have limited access.
Well, okay, so
right. That's why you're talking about this alligator stuff in the beach communities. Like, there's really going to be nowhere to.
There's a tower being proposed on Turquoise, and we're going to be raising the balloon to the height of that. It also is a symbol for the surrounding community to come. Here's the balloon. What's it about? Come out and see what's going on. So at the event, we'll have the balloon. I'm trying to raise funds for that now. So I'm praying to God that I raise enough money because it's expensive helium. And we're also going to have a musician out. We want the community to come to the site, but we want them to meet the neighbors that have to live with it
for sure.
And we want them to hear them out. So there's not going to be any speech making.
What can people who, like, let's say I'm in one of these communities, you invite me. What can I expect when I get there? What is this thing going to look like? And then we'll close it out.
It's going to be a lot of people talking with each other. It's going to be looking at the project, talking with the people who live around there, and there's going to be no speech making. I've asked the mayor and the city council, please, this is not a time for agenda. I've asked the NIMBYs and the YIMBYs, no, this isn't the time to come out with signs and placards and push an agenda. This is a time for the larger community to come out and connect with those that have been asked to sacrifice for all the rest of us.
Yep. I love that. Well, I think this sounds really interesting, and I think that what we should do is I love the balloon, but if we raise enough money, we could get like a Batman thing, and it could be like a hat. You know what I mean? And we like project that over the neighborhood. That's
I love it.
Isn't that good?
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it, Max.
All right, man. Well, look, everybody, we don't want this kind of stuff happen in the communities, and you know, Jim's not against developers making money. I mean, for Christ's sakes, he's a businessman. He's been doing this stuff for over 4 decades. That's not the point. It sounds to me like the point is it's got to be reasonable.
It's got to be fair.
It's got to be fair. It's got to be reasonable. We got to be thinking about the greater good for the city, not just how much money can I put in my pocket and live elsewhere.
And we got to take care of the collateral damage.
Right. Take care of the collateral damage. So hit the link in the description. Once again, just remind people, where do they go to get info about this?
JimLaMattery.com. And you can subscribe to the website. Everything is on there. The tour and some of the law behind all of this. And yeah, just follow it. And if you subscribe, you'll be updated automatically. You'll get all of our email alerts, et cetera, et cetera. So.
Righteous. Thanks, brother.
All right.
So good to see you. And
getting you into a house.
All right. Well, I'm going to be there. I'm going to look in the backyards. All right.
Okay.
All right. We'll see you guys as soon as, we'll see you when we see you. Take it easy. Have a great week, everybody.
Thank you.